Hi guys, good morning. Welcome back to Our Wyoming Life. My name is Mike, and today our mission is to get rid of a coyote. We've had multiple coyote problems here on the ranch with the birds, with the chickens, with the meat chickens, the ducks, the geese. Coyotes, this whole place is like a buffet for coyotes. So we've had problems over the last few weeks. We've shown you guys some of the videos like this one. These videos actually captured by our cameras that we have set up around the ranch, keeping an eye on things, and just basically invaluable in trying to figure out what time these predators are coming in and attempting to get to the birds. Now you might say, well, if you've got them all locked in, who cares what the predators are doing? They can come in, they can snoop around, they can find whatever they want. But they're, obviously if they're locked in, they're not going to find anything. But we still have cats. We have lots of barn cats. We even have some house cats that are outside wandering around. We don't want them taken out by coyotes. And plus, the more that the coyotes come in and try to get to these animals, the smarter they become. And one of the problems that we ran into this week was that the chickens were going out early, and the coyotes figured that out. They knew if the chickens went out, which we have these automatic chicken doors that let the chickens out, if the chickens went out, then they could sneak over here before anybody was out, keeping an eye on them, or there was any people moving around. So we did have a few problems with a coyote sneaking in. Actually grabbed a goose, took off with it. We caught it, and it dropped the goose, but the goose is a little bit, not maimed, but a little bit messed up. It's got a weird wing now, but it's okay. It was saved from the coyote. But the problem is that, the braver they get, the more they're going to come in, and we really just want to keep them away from the main ranch here as much as possible. Now, this isn't the first time that I went out coyote hunting here in the morning. We usually do it in the morning because, obviously light helps just a little bit. But last time I went out, I did manage to get probably about a year and a half old coyote pup that had come in and was snooping around. So today we're going to go out this morning and we're going to try to do the exact same thing that I did last time. And we take a look at our apps on our phone, even a website like this one. It tells us what time the sun is going to rise, but more importantly, it tells us what time first light is. And that this morning is at 6:17. So we want to make sure we're set up before first light, and we have a few things that we want to take with us. Now, this is the first step of our day. So after we get done with this, whether we're successful or not, we still have some more projects that we need to get done today, and I'm more than happy to bring you along for them. The main one is, and I think that I'm going to bring you with for this one, is that we're going to combine the cow herds. We've got to get that done today as well. We have two different herds going on right now. We've had our heifers, actually we had three. We had our heifers separated, we had our middle-aged cows, and we had our older cows. The heifers, obviously, are first-time moms. They were bred early. The middle-aged cows, they were bred with Duke Vader, and then the older cows we did not breed because those cows, once their calves are weaned off, those cows will actually be going into jerky production. So what we want to do today is combine all three of those herds and put them together and get them down to summer pasture now that we have the bulls off. So that's the second part of our day, but first we've got to head out and see if we can get rid of one more pesky coyote. Where there's one, there's probably many, and that's why we can continue to do this. In fact, after I got the last one, we had cameras set up, of course, and here comes another little guy. This is a little tiny coyote, so I don't know what we're going to run into this morning, if anything, but we are going to bring what we need to be prepared to do this. Now, it's very simple. We're going to bring a flashlight, and I use either red or green light with coyotes, although I have heard that you can use white light as well if you're trying to mask your location or something like that. The red light just seems to work really well for me. We are also going to bring out a Bluetooth speaker. This is a TrevLab Bluetooth speaker. We're going to bring this out, and I'm going to show you an app that we use that we can actually sit and call in the coyote. We're going to set this up a little ways away from our location and call that coyote in. And of course, the last thing we're going to be using is a rifle. This is a Winchester 22 long rifle with a scope on it that will hopefully get the job done. The bullet itself, actually very small, it's just a 22 bullet, but I found that's pretty much all you need if you can do it right. So we're going to take all this out, and we are actually going to set up in our cow barn and hopefully be out of sight and be able to draw that coyote in. So obviously while we're out doing this, I can't be talking. Gotta be very quiet. So I don't know how exciting it's gonna be really, but we'll find out. And here we are. And we're getting pretty close to what we like to call first light, which is at 6:17 this morning. It's a little bit after 6 o'clock, so I'm gonna try to get set up and ready to go long before that happens. And sunrise is at like 6:44, so that gives us about a half an hour before we're gonna pretty much shut it down, because after sunrise, chances of anything moving in are pretty slim. So this is our window. We try to take advantage of it as much as we can. So we've got our flashlight, we've got our rifle, and our Bluetooth speaker. We're going to put this on red light. I'm just going to set it down here on the ground, not too far from where I'm going to be sitting. I'm also going to turn on our Bluetooth speaker.
Power on.
Power's on.
Bluetooth mode.
I'm just going to set that down right here on the ground. Next thing I'm going to do is grab my phone, and I actually have an app. It's called Hunt 750. That's what it looks like. And in this app, I can set up playlists to just kind of run along and hopefully bring in one of these coyotes. There we go. And as for me, I'm going to take a seat back here and just kind of hang out and see what happens. Well, I thought I saw one out there. It was a ways off. It's starting to get pretty light, so they're going to start getting even more skittish right now. Didn't really want to come anywhere near us. So it is now 6:38. Official sunrise is at 6:44. I don't really see the point in hanging out here any longer this morning. I think that we kind of missed our window. If we were going to get something this morning, the time has gone for that. So unfortunately, we are without a coyote this morning, but that's okay. We still know they're out there. We've got the cameras on pretty much everything that we can, or at least that they really enjoy going and bothering. So As long as we're still spooking them off, we're scaring them off, we're still doing something. Again, this isn't hunting. This is protecting our livelihood. The rifle is nothing but a tool, no different than a hammer or a screwdriver putting in a screw. It's a tool to get a job done, not a job that we really enjoy, but it's a job that has to be done because, as you know, if coyotes come in and they take meat chickens or they take laying hens, or God forbid they get a goat or a pig or something like that, that's thousands of dollars that the ranch loses just like that. So it's something we do have to make sure that we stand up and fight for. So that's why we're out here this morning. That's why we're doing what we're doing. Unfortunately unsuccessful, but we have been successful in the past with this exact same layout, hanging out back here in the barn, having the speakers out, bringing them in, and basically removing them from the equation. So that's pretty much it for this morning. We still have more projects on the ranch today, so I want you to stick around. We are going to head down to the cows and combine some herds. We're going to combine the cows all into one single herd for the rest of the fall, and hopefully be able to keep them down in summer pasture as long as possible. There's lots of grass to be eaten down there, and they can definitely enjoy a lot more time. So I'll meet you down there in just a couple minutes. And we're off once again, heading down to the cows. Like I said earlier this morning, we're going to be combining all of our herd, aside from the steers that are across the road over here. These are all of our mom cows that we're going to be grouping up and getting all together, from the heifers all the way up to the 10-year-old cows that this is their last season here on the ranch. So it's kind of a shame that we didn't get that coyote this morning. And one thing I didn't talk about was the danger that coyotes can actually pose to our calves. And that's because when a calf is born on the ranch, they can't really get up and walk for a few minutes. And while we want them to get up and walk and move with mom as quick as possible, while they're down, they're very vulnerable. We've seen coyotes that come and circle calves that have just been born. I've seen coyotes that come out and follow me when I feed during calving season, just to see who's out there with new calves and which moms can get distracted by food, which moms maybe aren't that great of moms. And so we definitely want to make sure that we control the coyote population. You're never going to get rid of all of them, but if you can control it, it's better than nothing. So, well, this morning was a failure when it comes to the coyotes. We are going to get something done today. It's kind of like that whole theory that if you make your bed every single morning, even if you accomplish nothing all day long, you still come home and you bet your bed's made. We are going to get something done today, and that is combining all of these cows that we've got scattered throughout the ranch into one main herd. A couple reasons for that. One, there's safety in numbers, and number two is that I want to get them all grazing in the same area. Right now they're grazing throughout the ranch, spread out over about 3 miles, and if I can push them all down to summer pasture, that limits our grazing down to summer pasture, gives everything else a chance to kind of rest a little bit. And when we move the cows back this fall and even into winter, they'll still have some food to eat along the way. It's a limited rotational grazing and kind of a regenerative agriculture kind of practice, but we are definitely going to do the best that we can out here on the prairies in northeast Wyoming. So let's get these guys. You can see some cows down there. We've got about 12 cows in this pasture. We're going to move them on to the next one. Now this was actually a hay field. We hayed this back in July, and you can see not a whole lot of regrowth. There's nothing out here to cut. There's no second cutting, even though we've had decent rain over the past month or so. Just not enough to make it grow anymore and get a second cutting out of it. But we did get our one cutting. We've got enough hay to last us through winter, especially if we're a little bit careful with how we graze heading in to fall and winter itself. So that's the whole point behind all this. We're going to combine these cows and make their grass last as long as possible. These are our oldest cows on the ranch. They're anywhere from 10 to 15 years old. In fact, number 190 there, you may remember her as the toilet head cow, toilet seat cow. And she's the one that got when she was a heifer, clear back in 2008, she got a toilet seat stuck on her head. We ended up having to take it off. That was fun. That was a very interesting day. Unfortunately, this is her last summer here on the ranch. None of these cows are actually bred. All of these cows will be going into jerky production at the end of the year. So while we hate to say goodbye, we have to do it eventually. My biggest thing actually at this point, I don't like dealing with cows that are allowed to live on the ranch longer than they should have been. They have problems. They start losing teeth, they can't eat, they're not getting the nutrition they need. So you do have a quality of life issue that you have to deal with. And I like to kind of get it nipped in the bud a little early. I don't want to see anybody's quality of life go down at all. I want to see them happy when they leave the ranch. Every animal on the ranch only has to have one bad day. The rest of their lives, we try to make as awesome as possible, even the next to last day. The other really cool thing about these old cows is that they've done this a few times. They've been here a while, and getting them to move from one pasture to the next is actually pretty easy. They've been down on summer pasture many times. They know where they want to go.
Take me back to the old dirt road where Mama and Papa used to go.
And speaking of old cows right here, this is actually Marty's mom. She had the twins this year. Marty was one of those set of twins. The other one, her twin brother, is actually in here. She, for the first time since she had Marty, is now going to be down in the same pasture as the bottle cows. Not that they're going to find each other, but maybe we'll go check on the bottle calves and see how they're doing.
Oh, well, let my mind go
Okay, girl.
serene like a cool water stream that runs from the mountain so tall. Oh, take me back down the old dirt road.
From one pasture to the next, each one of these pastures, a couple hundred acres each, maybe 300 or 400 acres for some of them. So, not really a short walk, but definitely not the worst ever. So, we're pushing these guys towards summer pasture, which is about 2,300 acres that they've got pretty much full roam on, and lots of grass, lots of water still, stock tanks, all that kind of good stuff. So. They will have everything that they need down here.
Take me home to rest where the mockingbirds nest and to cry through the dream in the spring. Let's go back a ways to the old bygone days, the simple time we lived back then. Let the pull of the plow bring the sweat from my brow, and the glow of the fire pull me home. Let me wind down my days in the sweet dusty haze. Take me back down the old dirt road. Oh, take me back down the old dirt road. Back down the old dirt road.
And there we go. All the cows are now down on summer pasture. I'm going to close this gate really quick and we'll wrap things up. All of our cows reunited, all 67 or so of them, and here with us now, little Miss Marty. Hey, kiddo. Oh, she's still a bottle calf. She still thinks she is anyway. Hi. Yeah, I missed you too. I do have a surprise for you though, in case you care. Hey, I got a surprise for you. And that's your mom's right down there. She is. Your mom's down there. I know you don't really care, but you'd rather chew on my fingers. Hey, yeah, it's okay, yeah. You too, yeah. So, that's pretty much it for us for today. Obviously, trying to get that coyote this morning, a little bit of a failure. But being able to do something like this, come back, get something done, something that's productive for the ranch. And honestly, going down there and waiting for that coyote this morning, and we may have scared it off. Who knows? We may have done something really good there as well. So you never know. Like I said, if nothing else, at least my bed's made. So I'll have something looking forward to me, or have something to look forward to at the end of the day. So that's not a bad thing either. Guys, Marty, I'll see you later. I've got a full day ahead of me, so I'm gonna head back towards the house, find some time to grab some breakfast, and then get on with our day. So thank you very much for hanging out with me once again. Be sure to follow along, explore the ranch life, escape the ordinary. Head on over to our website, check that out, ourwyominglife.com. Find out all about us, and maybe even grab yourself some beef jerky while you're there. until next time, have a great week, and thanks for joining us in our Wyoming life. Marty. Ew, what are you doing? Silly cat. One great big happy family. That one has an itch.